Hello, and welcome to Embodiment for Business. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you everything you need to know to master embodiment, to access the quantum, and manifest wild success in your business. I am so excited to have the opportunity to share all of this with you, and I honestly have so much to share on this topic. Prepare to be mind blown. I really do have a lot to cover, and some of it is going to be a little bit out of your comfort zone and potentially will challenge some of the beliefs that you already have. So I just ask you to leave your old learnings at the door and be fully open to what I have to say. And of course, I am so open to conversations about anything that comes up throughout this session. Just DM me over on Instagram. So today I'm going to be going through Quantum 101, a very brief insight into the quantum, because the truth is we could literally be here all day if I tried to teach you everything that I know about the quantum. Honestly, there are quantum physicists who don't fully understand the quantum. So I'm just sharing the bits and pieces that I know are going to be super valuable for you. I want to teach you about quantum leaping, how you can quantum leap, which is basically just manifest really fast. And I want to teach you how that is the missing ingredient to your success. I'm also going to go into embodiment, what it really means to embody your next level. And I have a beautiful activity to guide you through that's going to really paint your embodiment blueprint, that recipe for your next level version of yourself. And then we're going to finish the session with the quantum manifestation method, which is really going to bring all of these pieces together in order to create your dream life. This is my signature framework, and I am so excited to share it with you. And then, of course, because I have to finish everything with some sort of amazing process for your subconscious mind, I'm going to be guiding you through my quantum manifestation meditation, which is really going to finish this session with a bang. And you'll be able to revisit this section at any point that you want to help to shift your energy and bring it into alignment with the life that you are creating. So before we dive into all of that, for those of you who don't know me, hello, my name is Jamie. I am a business energetics coach, and I'm honestly so passionate about helping women just like you get out of their own way. I literally spent years holding myself back, keeping myself small, and playing into my fears, and really just not living life to my full potential. If you scroll way back on my Instagram, you will not even recognize me. I share videos all the time of the transformation that I've experienced, and it really has all started with subconscious reprogramming, with really going deep into my mind and rewiring the stories and beliefs that have been keeping me small, coupled with, of course, leaning into the energy and the embodiment to quantum leap my life and my business. My vision really is to inspire coaches, creators, online service providers, and in general, female entrepreneurs to really start to blend strategy with energetics in order to make big, bold moves in their business and in order to quantum leap their success. Here's the thing. I also spent years and years and years investing in nothing but strategy. I was always looking for the blueprint, the next best thing that was supposed to deliver me to this next level of success in my business. And the problem with this was that for so long, I was implementing strategies that didn't even feel good or aligned for me, because the truth was that I really didn't know who I was. I didn't know what kind of business owner I wanted to be. And I really didn't have a very good relationship to myself. I was always that people pleaser, and I just did what I was told. And guess what? It got me nowhere in my business. So, I really want to disrupt everything that you think you know about business strategy and to teach you how you can blend it with energetics, with manifestation, with the beautiful personal development, the growth journey in order to really reach that next level. And contrary to a lot of opinions that I see on social media or that I have experienced in the past with personal development, I always felt like the personal development industry was kind of teaching people that they had to embark on this big personal development journey before they could reach success in their business. And in my world, that's just not true. In my world, it all coincides together. We embark on this business journey, which naturally is going to challenge our beliefs and challenge those deep inner thoughts and feelings that we actually have. It's going to bring those to the surface in order for us to deal with them in those moments, to rewire them, to prove to our subconscious that we are so safe to create the life that we dream of. And then we can create success all on this path. I do not believe that this mindset work is ever finished. It's not a one-stop destination where you reprogram your whole mind and then you are set for success for the rest of your life. It really is part of the journey, and all of this work blends in beautifully together. So enough about me. Let's talk about the quantum. Now, a full disclaimer before I dive into this, and trigger warning, we're not going back to high school science. If you have seen physics on this screen or science anywhere, I do not want you to panic. This is not a science lesson, but it is based in quantum physics. Now, quantum physics is a very complicated area of science. In fact, I have actually heard the quote that there are quantum physicists who don't fully understand the quantum. So I am not here pretending that I am a quantum physicist. What I am sharing, though, is everything that I know and my interpretations of the work and the research that I have done and what was covered in my coaching certification to just better help you understand what this whole quantum actually means. Because I have noticed in the last few years, especially, that this is a phrase that is really thrown around a lot on social media. You know, everyone's talking about it already exists in the quantum and, you know, the field of potential and quantum leaps and manifestation and all of these seemingly woo-woo things. I want to give you the real science behind it to kind of demystify it, if you will. So let's start with the very basics. And that is that everything in this world, including you, including me, are made up of atoms. Now, an atom is literally the smallest particle of any chemical element that can exist. Okay? We're all made up of atoms, the smallest particle of any chemical element. And an atom in itself is actually 99.999% energy and only 0.001% physical matter. Is that not wild? Yes, I am saying that we are 99.999% energy. The world that we live in, while it is a physical reality, we physically have matter, obviously, that really only makes up 0.001% of the universe. Is that not wild? Literally everything in our world, in our experience, in our universe is energy. And energy, in its simplest terms, is just the ability to do something. It is the potential. It's the ability to change, to grow, to react. Okay? Energy is just the ability to do something. But energy is 99.999% of what makes up our entire universe as we know it. So the world that we live in, although we see it as a physical reality, is actually an energetic field, a field of potential. Now, the reason that we see things as a physical reality and we see the 0.001% of physical matter is called the observer effect. And what this means is that everything is energy until it is observed. It's actually a very famous experiment. I can't remember who conducted it, which is a little bit embarrassing, but it's not important. What's important to understand is that everything exists as energy until we observe it. So we observe the physical matter, but everything else exists as energy. Now, I understand this is probably blowing your brain, but please just bear with me. It is a lot to absorb. And sometimes I find when you're learning about the quantum, you really need to go back and listen to these things a few times. Really listen with an open mind and try not to judge it too much. When I first started learning about this, my science brain was like, what? How is this science? This doesn't even make sense to my brain. But the real key is to not try and make it make sense. Just accept that it is. And then when we learn to manipulate things, because we can, we have the ability to influence energy, and therefore we can change our physical reality. And when you learn to manipulate things, you will start to see the evidence and the proof in this, which is really going to help solidify all of the things that I am going to teach you. Okay, so I just want to really recap on that. So we have the ability to influence energy, and 99.99% of our universe is energy. So we have so much potential and so much ability to change our entire physical reality by learning how to manipulate this, by learning how to influence this. Now, there was a really cool experiment that was actually spoken about in Joe Dispenza's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And it actually really talks about the power of our intention as well. And it was monks or priests who set the intention that they wanted to change the pH of water. And so that is what they focused on. And I believe they meditated on it. They really meditated and focused on and set the intention that they were going to change the pH of water, right? So that is to influence the energy, because changing the pH is a physical change of the energy of the particles of water to change its acidity levels, right? Guess what? They freaking did it. With the power of their mind, these priests, these monks were able to change the acidity of water, literally through choosing to influence energy. That is how easy it gets to be. So I think Joe Dispenza really sums this up so beautifully. This is an excerpt from one of his books. So it is that the quantum field is an invisible field of energy and information. We can't see the quantum. It exists beyond space and time. Quantum is only in the now. There's no way to measure it. It's not a physical place. It is an energetic field that exists beyond space and time. And when I say energetic field, it's not just energy, it's also a code of information is another really cool way to look at it. And it really is beyond anything that you can perceive with your senses. And sometimes, like I said earlier, it will really challenge your mind to think this. But essentially, it's a unified field of energy and information, and it governs the laws of nature. So if you've heard of the laws of the universe, there's 12 universal laws. The quantum field really governs all of this. That's what it's all linked back to. Okay. So let's talk about what a quantum leap is. So if we know that the quantum is a field of energy, a field of potential, so what the heck does it mean to quantum leap, right? It can be said that everything that you desire already exists as energy in the quantum. Literally, any desired reality that you can imagine. Because remember, the quantum is a field of information. It's a code of information. It's a code of energy. So everything that you can imagine, that you can desire, that you can visualize for your life, it already exists as potential in the quantum field. That's right. You as a millionaire at the top of your company with thousands of downline, it already exists in the quantum. So how do we bring something from the quantum, from this field of potential, from basically just being an energetic code to actually being our physical reality? That is what a quantum leap is. A quantum leap is basically just manifesting, but usually on a bigger scale is what people are referring to it as. So it requires an energetic shift. If you've heard people talk about becoming an energetic match to your desires, this is what they're talking about. See, that potential reality that exists in your mind and in the quantum, it requires a certain version of you in order to bring it into your physical reality. It requires a certain vibration, a certain energy level of you in order to physically manifest that into your reality. And so when we shift our energy and we quantum leap, we're able to bring this from existing only as potential and only as energy to being a part of our physical reality. Okay, take a moment to just absorb that. So, a quantum leap, in its most simplest terms, is actually just an abrupt shift in energy. And we actually quantum leap all of the time on an unconscious level. Okay, so a really cool example, a simple example of a quantum leap is, those mornings where you wake up and you're lying in bed, your alarm's just gone off and you feel so tired and you're like, oh, I don't want to get up. I'm not vibing today. Like, can't I just go back to sleep? I didn't have a very good sleep last night. I'm just going to snooze it. You can envision that, right? And then in that moment, you decide no. And you get up out of bed. And it's an abrupt shift. You literally change your reality. That is a quantum leap in its most simplest terms. You just went from feeling tired and lying in bed and not wanting to get up to making one decision, one snap moment to physically get out of your bed. And when you do that, you shift your energy. And that is a quantum leap. That is shifting your reality, right? A quantum leap begins with your energy. It begins with you intentionally embodying the version of you that already has the things that you desire in life. So obviously, when we talk about quantum leaping and manifestation, it is talking about all of this on a much deeper level than just getting out of bed in the morning. But it's the same concept applied intentionally. We can intentionally quantum leap in order to manifest things into our reality. And there are only two things that are really stopping you from manifesting your desires. And I realize that one of them is cut off, but bear with me. The first one is literally just your ability to become an energetic match. So your ability to embody the version of you that already has everything you desire is the number one thing that is already stopping you from manifesting your desires. The second thing is actually your beliefs and your limitations. Because your beliefs and your limitations and those thoughts and feelings that you have, those limiting stories, the BS that you tell yourself for why you can't have things, that is stopping you from fully embodying your higher self version and therefore stopping you from becoming an energetic match to your desires. And this is why everything that I do really has a deep mindset element to it. We are always talking about subconscious reprogramming and removing these limitations so that we don't have these inhibitions holding us back. So let's talk about embodiment now. Okay, so embodiment. Again, it's another woo-woo phrase that I keep seeing thrown around the depths of the social media world. But truly, to embody is just to be. It is nothing more and it is nothing less. And yes, I just quoted myself because I made that up and I just felt like it was the perfect definition of what embodiment really is. Because when I first stumbled across this, I was like, what the heck does embodiment actually mean? Like, again, it's thrown around as being this woo-woo phrase, but truly it is just to be something. To embody is to be. So the real question is, who do you need to embody in order to quantum leap? So we can very intentionally jump from one level or one reality to another, aka quantum leap, by stepping into a new version of us. Okay. The version of you that got you to where you are now in your business is not the version of you that is going to get you to your next level. Let that sink in. We are always growing and changing. And in order to desire more and to manifest more, we have to shift our energy and we have to grow and change and step into a new version of us. This is not fake it till you make it. And I want to make that really, really clear. This is about being a different version of you. It is a conscious choice, and it is about owning that you are that person. When you say to yourself, you're just going to fake it till you make it, you actually cement into your subconscious mind, which is your autopilot, which controls everything that you do in your life. You cement into your subconscious mind that you are not there yet, that you are not that version. And so how can you fully become an energetic match to these big desires that you have when your subconscious is like, oh, she's just faking it. Like she's just faking it. She's just pretending to be this version. You're not going to manifest from that energy. This is about full embodiment and full being. And I honestly think that this has been the biggest game changer to my business. The biggest game changer, because I made the decision that I didn't want to show up as that past version of me who was scared to talk online and scared to trigger people. And when I really thought about my highest, most successful self, she didn't care about things like that. She showed up unapologetically, confidently. She wasn't afraid to say things that might trigger people because she said it with love, not with the intention of hurting people. It's often, for me, it's saying the things that people don't want to hear, but absolutely need to. And so when I started to embody that version and to actually show up and speak from that energy, things really started to shift in my business. Now, I actually share transformation videos on this all of the time on my Instagram. You can go and have a look at those. If you scroll back and you look at some of my past reels and past videos, you will not even recognize me, right? Because when I chose to embody this new version, this new energy, these new characteristics, if you will, it literally changed my whole physical reality. I look completely different. It is honestly so wild. Okay, that is a quantum leap. I literally quantum leaped my personality. All right, I want to take you through a really beautiful activity now to give you a guide. This is going to be your blueprint to who you need to embody to quantum leap your business. This is going to be how you're going to take your business to the next level, because that's what we're all here to do. Now, before we go into this, two things. Number one, there really is no right or wrong way. You're in total control here, because if it exists in your mind and you can visualize it, you can bring it into your reality. This is about tapping into your inner knowing, your answers, your intuition. Because regardless of how you've been conditioned to look outside of you, which you have, we've all been conditioned to always look outside of us, you actually have all of the answers you need within you. So give yourself the time and the space. Feel free to pause this activity at any point to really go deep on these questions. Okay, I'm going to kind of speed through them for the purposes of this recording, but please, please, please pause at any point to really dive deep into these questions. This is forming your blueprint, your recipe for who you need to be, how you need to show up in order to quantum leap your business. Are you ready? So I want you to start with one very simple question. Why are you here? Why are you building your business? And list it all out, all of the reasons. And now I want you to think, What do you really want to create in your business and your life? And I mean, what do you want to create? I want you to really reflect on this because so many of us set goals that are not actually true for us. They're influenced by people around us, by partners, by family members, by our own limitations. They're influenced by experiences in our life and situations that we're not happy with. And when you focus on this is problem solving. So I call this the problem solving mindset. When you set goals from this energy, you are not being a true creator. This is not how we access the quantum. We access the quantum by purely focusing on our desires and who we need to be to get there. We don't need to focus on our problems or have real big reasons to back up our vision for our life and our business. So I want you to really reflect on this. What do you actually want to create in your life and business? And remember, freeze this, pause this at any point that you feel you need to. Now, this is a really fun next question, and this has been a full circle moment for me. I literally had this moment that felt like deja vu on the couch the other night. I was having a wine, sitting with my husband on the couch watching House of Dragon because we're obsessed with it. And I had this feeling like I'd been in that moment before. And I was like, that's so weird. You know, I do get deja vu a lot, but this just felt really different. And the next day it hit me. I hadn't actually physically lived that moment before. But I created that moment in all of its perfection as part of my perfect day, which I scripted out over 12 months ago. And I have had playing in my ThinkUp app as I go to sleep at night. ThinkUp is literally just an app that you can record affirmations in, and it plays as you go to sleep. It's a really great way to reprogram your subconscious mind. I am not an affiliate. I just really love it. And so over a year ago, I scripted out my perfect day. I recorded it in my ThinkUp app, and I've been playing it as I go to sleep. And I literally experienced that very moment. I have the text proof for you if you really want to see it. But I want you to really start to think about what your perfect average day looks like. Now, this is the key. It's an average day in your life. It's not necessarily a day where you have something spectacular, like you're traveling overseas and, you're walking across an international stage. What is on an average day in your perfect life? What would it look like? And I want you to start from the moment that you wake up and all of the details through till the moment that you go to sleep. And again, the more details, the better. The more specific, the more you can dive into this, the more powerful that it is. Now, finally, reflecting on that perfect average day, I want you to start thinking about what that version of you that is living that perfect day, what does that look like? How do you dress? How do you show up? How are you spending your time? Who's around you? Where do you live? What's your life like? How do you feel? What's the energy like? What kind of energy do you emit? When you show up on social media, what are people getting on the other side of that screen? What this is literally creating the blueprint to the version of you that you need to be in order to quantum leap to that average day. So all of the details and really thinking about the energy of it. How does it feel? How does it feel? And once you've done that, I want you to look over that and start to notice the things that you can do now. How can you begin to intentionally embody this version of you? What little things can you do now that are in alignment with this perfect average day? So for me, it very much starts in the morning, the way that I wake up. I don't necessarily always wake up to an alarm anymore, although I do have a toddler, so that's kind of the same thing. And I don't have a set morning routine because that's not aligned for me. But I do try to always start the day with usually some vision boarding on Pinterest, sometimes reading a book, pulling cards, sometimes journaling, depending what I feel called to do. I always have a shower. I always have a coffee. I always do my makeup. I always do my hair. And I always very intentionally choose my outfit. Because for me, all of those things help me to embody the energy of this $1 million version of me. And I talk about that a lot on my social media, being $1 million me. The phrase comes from, if you've ever heard the phrase, feeling like $1 million, that's the energy that I embody. That is the energy that I want to embody. The red lips, the nails, the backdrop that you'll see, it's all very intentional. It helps me embody this energy, the version that you get to experience through the screen. And this is how I did it. And this is exactly how you can do it. You look over the blueprint that you've created and you start to bring elements of that into your day now. It's really that simple. It's not magical at all. So I want to finish off with teaching you the quantum manifestation method. This is bringing it all together and up-leveling it a little bit, but this really is my signature manifestation framework, and it's about creating literally anything you want in your life. And create is very intentional because you'll notice that that is what it all stands for. So the first step is choosing, and it is choosing what you really want. Because we forget how powerful our intentions are. Having a direction. You need to have a direction and a vision for your life. I do not care what anyone says. If you feel resistance to having a clear picture or a clear direction or goals, you are resisting your success. And we need to do some reprogramming around that. But when we're choosing, it's also really important that we make sure that it is a true choice for us. That it is a reflection of what we want because we want it, not because it solves problems in our life, not because someone else told us that that's what we should have, not because we think it's what we deserve or all we can achieve. This is about limitless dreaming. What do you really want? The second step is reprogramming. You have to reprogram the things that are in the way of you creating this. So how can you shift these beliefs? How can you show your subconscious? Because the whole goal of the subconscious, the reason that you have these limiting beliefs pop up, that is all because your subconscious wants to keep you safe, right? Your subconscious just wants to keep you safe. And so what it will do is anytime it feels unsafe, which by the way, every time we're experiencing something new or out of our comfort zone, our subconscious is like, whoa, this is not safe. You're going to notice this resistance pop up, this like heaviness, this feeling of, I know what I want to do, but I know what I need to do, I just don't want to do it, or I'm too scared, or all of the stories that we tell ourselves. You need to really start to build a relationship with yourself so that you can become hyper aware of when these things are happening. Because when it's happening, you can catch it in its tracks. You can flip the belief. And sometimes you need some extra help in this area. That is where, particularly the work that I do, and I know that Rachel does very similar work to me, where we're really reprogramming the limitations, where we are shifting these beliefs at their core. Okay. The third step is embodiment. Of course, we need to become an energetic match to our desires. And the way that we do this is everything that I've spoken about. It's about embodying the version of you that is already living the life that you are dreaming of. Now, the fourth thing is action. I do not care what anyone says, and I'll say this forever. You still have to take action. Yes, there are manifestation stories where people will tell you they received, magical surprise checks in the mail and opportunities that seemingly came out of the blue that they just, had no idea were going on. Yes, the universe does work in magical, mysterious ways. But most of the time, there is still a level of action that you need to take. The thing is, and this is a really, really big key here, we do not take action in order to get somewhere. It's not about, stepping out this whole journey of steps that we need to take in order to get somewhere. This is about taking action that is in alignment with the energy, which means we take it from the place of if it's already there. And the most simplest way to do this is to sit and imagine that you are living in that reality. You're living there. You are that person. You can literally feel the reality playing out, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. And then ask yourself, what was the obvious next step to get from my reality, my actual physical reality, to this desired reality? And the first thing that pops up is the thing that you need to do. This is how you tap into your intuition. This is how you take aligned action and how you help to keep embodying that energy. So it's not about taking action to get somewhere. It's about taking action as if it's already there. So you think about, and this is a really cool example, is if I knew that I was going to make $50,000 in my business this month, what would I be doing? And do those things. If I knew I was making $50,000 a month in my business, I'd show up. I'd be on stories. I'd go live a few times. I'd make sure that I had my podcast out every week. But most importantly, I'd also be living my freaking life. I would be having downtime. I would be going for coffee dates. I would be literally sitting on the couch with my husband having a glass of wine at night, right? Because I know that it's already done. And that brings us into the fifth step, trust. You have to trust that your success is inevitable. You have to trust that everything is happening in accordance with your highest good. You cannot get attached to the time frame. You have to just know that everything is coming in divine timing and surrender to the universe. A really big misconception with quantum leaping is that you skip, like it happens instantaneously because time doesn't exist in the quantum. But here's the thing. There is still a time element attached to a quantum leap because we live in a physical reality and time exists in our physical reality. And so the physical time in our reality that it takes for you to quantum leap, for you to bring into your reality that desired outcome, manifest that dream life, is the exact amount of time it takes for you to become a full energetic match. So if you haven't manifested something yet, it's because you're not an energetic match. And that, of course, leads into the final step, which is express gratitude. The easiest way to shift our energy and to heighten our vibration is through gratitude. Gratitude is one of the highest vibration energies there is. And you need to be celebrating every moment, celebrating every client, every sale, every minute that you get to experience something new in your life. You have to celebrate it all and give gratitude for every tiny win. Because until you can be grateful for that one client, for that one sale, for that one team member, you will not be delivered more. I'm going to say that again. Celebrate every moment and give gratitude for every win. That's it. They are my 6 steps to quantum manifestation. So I want to finish this session off by guiding you through my most favorite manifestation meditation. I literally do this myself. I created it. I do this myself whenever I'm doing goal setting or when I feel like I need to shift my energy because I've been feeling in a frump. And the aim of this is really to help you become an energetic match. So when you're ready, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to bring yourself to a place of stillness. Straighten your back and feel every ounce of worry, anger, and fear fly away from you as you find your peace. When you find that your mind is cleared and all around you is silent, repeat the following to yourself. I am here. I am safe. I am present. And take 3 big, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And set the intention that you're going to relax. As you allow yourself to continue to relax with each breath, picture yourself on a beautiful beach. You're sitting there on the warm white sand. You can hear the waves crashing on the sand. The sun's golden rays shine down, warming your skin, whilst the salt ocean breeze blows gently through your hair. It's literally the perfect day to relax on the beach. Imagine your hands are in the sand and you can actually feel it beneath your fingers. You're sitting there with your legs stretched out, gently leaning back, supporting yourself with your hands. And you feel great. Taking in the beautiful blue ocean as it washes up on the white, sandy beach. It's literally the most beautiful beach you've ever seen. This beach is completely secluded. It's just you. There's no one else there. And it couldn't be more perfect. And as you're noticing how perfect it is, I want you to relax even more. Notice how good it feels to be in this place, feeling relaxed and feeling at ease. You can see a glowing light just slightly in the distance. It's almost like a big ball of glowing golden light stretched out from the shoreline to over the ocean, and you feel really drawn to it. You notice an urge to get up and walk down the beach to the glowing light, so you follow it. You gently stand and start to walk. You're walking along the beach, feeling the sand beneath your toes, the warm sand. It really is the most beautiful beach you've ever seen. Pure perfection. You can hear the waves rolling and washing up along the shore. It's a beautiful walk. As you walk closer to the light, you notice that it's a glowing golden staircase. It starts at the shoreline, ascends up over the ocean and into the heavens. You can't see anything above the stairs but a warm golden light. As you stand there in awe of this glorious staircase, you notice that you are feeling called to make your way up it. You take the first step up the golden staircase, and immediately you feel more relaxed and at ease. Allowing yourself to feel more relaxed with each step, you take the second step and the third step. It feels good, doesn't it? And with each step, you're going deeper and deeper into yourself. Now the fourth and the fifth step, finding more ways to feel relaxed, just breathing and relaxing. You notice the higher you get, the more relaxed and at ease you go. So go up the sixth and seventh step. You're going deeper and deeper into a complete state of relaxation. You're slowly moving away from the beach. It seems a big distance behind you. You can't see anything but the glorious golden light as you take the final steps. 8th, 9th, 10 steps into this light. You find yourself in a golden room amongst the clouds. You know you are meant to be here. It feels good. You take a moment to soak up this feeling. Then you notice a white light in front of you, breaking through the gold, and it's calling you. So you start to walk towards it. As you get closer, you see big, white, gold, glowing gates. It's beautiful, and you feel safe and easy and you know you are meant to be here. The gates are open, so you make your way through, and it's as if you've been transported to the most beautiful place in the universe. There's glorious green grass, birds are chirping, and a rolling sapphire blue waterfall. It feels almost mysterious. It's like a fantasy land. It feels like this is the place where all dreams come true. This is the place where you become an energetic match to all that you desire. The place where you ask for your desires and you receive them. So, what does your dream life look like? And notice that in this magical land, as you imagine your dream life, it pops up right before your eyes. So what's your dream life? And what's a perfect life for you? Start to imagine it and see that it appears right around you. You're living in this dream life now. As soon as you think about a beautiful house, there it is. That luxury car, there it is. The travel, the holidays, the adventures, there they are. That amazing romantic partnership, the children, the businesses, the charities, the lifestyle, it's all there. Now, what comes up? Notice that as you think it, it shows up. Notice that you are a powerful creator. Have fun with this. Everything you think of comes into your reality. Really have fun. Start thinking up different scenarios and different situations and see them come into your reality. See them show up around you. Doesn't it feel good? And as you're just having these pop up, I want you to consider, how would it feel to be living this dream life? How would it feel? I want you to imagine you're living that perfect day. What time do you wake up? And see yourself waking up. I want you to visualize all of these elements. Visualize yourself living this perfect day in this beautiful dream land. Where do you wake? Who do you wake next to? What do you do when you wake up? And you're looking at yourself in the mirror now. Notice this version of you who has it all. How do you dress? How do you do your hair? Are you wearing makeup? How do you spend your morning? What are you doing? What do you have for breakfast? Who is around you? What do you have for lunch? How do you spend your afternoon? Where do you live? What does your life look like? What does your business look like? What does that really entail? Do you have a team, or are you a solopreneur? What does your business do? Who do you help? How do you help them? What are you selling? How do you sell it? How much money are you making? Imagine your dream life and notice how it feels to be living that life now. Have fun with this. See it with your own eyes. See it all playing out around you and feel it in your whole body. How does it feel to live your dream life? To know that everything you dreamt of is already done for you. And out of all of these things that you've seen in this perfect dream world, what's one thing that you would really love to create now? What is that one burning desire you have right in this very moment? The one thing you know you have to create right now. I want you to create this moment in pure perfection right now. Visualize it in pure perfection, every little detail. Notice it, see it, picture every aspect of it. See it playing out around you. Now I want you to step into this reality. Step into the reality that you already have it, that it's already yours. You're there now, aren't you? You can feel it. You have it. You can feel it and it's yours. It's already done. Take a big, deep breath and breathe reality into this. Breathe life into it. Breathe this moment into your reality. What's it like being this person? What's it like having a dream come true? Now that you have this, what do you get to do every day? Doesn't it feel good? As you're experiencing this moment, notice that everything else dissolves. And this is all there is. This is all there is. This is you. You created this. And notice who you've had to be to get there. Notice back in the distance, there was a room, some steps, and the beach. But notice you're in this life now and notice how it feels. Consider it's done. You are this person now. Take 3 big, deep breaths with me to cement it in. Consider right now that you have created the blueprint of the seed to be planted to grow. Notice that you've created the blueprint. And as you notice this, come back to wakeful awareness. Wiggle your toes. Come back into your body only as fast as you can feel great. And notice that it is already done. Your success is inevitable. Put a smile on your face and open your eyes to your new timeline and reality. That is my most favorite meditation. And I want to finish off by saying thank you so much for tuning into this session. I have honestly loved sharing all of this with you. If you have any questions or want to continue this conversation further at all, feel free to reach out to me over on Instagram. That is where I spend most of my time. And remember, you can come back to this end meditation as many times as you like. As I mentioned before, I love to do it before I do any goal setting or even just to shift my energy when I'm feeling down in a frump. But it's also very safe to do on a daily basis if you want to start your day